So do you think in comedy that the storytelling aspect is just as important as the comedic timing and stuff like that as well?
That is actually really funny because back in the summer after eighth grade, I was taking a online improv comedy class with UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade, which a lot of famous like SNL comedians came up through, like Amy Poehler. But I was just taking one online class, and um, there was a part where our improv teacher was telling us about how like when you're doing like an improv monologue or something like that, you want to like connect the prompt to a story you have. And I kind of looked back at my life and realized I had one funny story. And the story was about me and my friend in a golf cart and the golf cart tipping over and me thinking the roof had decapitated him. That was the one funny story I could ever point to. And I've accumulated some more funny stories.
Yeah.
I've been getting, I grew up, I went to a private school that was like pretty strict and I had pretty strict parents. So I didn't get into much antics. But, within the last year in college, I've definitely accumulated some stories. But I kind of, even though I probably want to be, at this point in my life, I do not feel like a comedian that tells stories. Most
Okay.
of my most of my comedy, I guess, is playing with like expectations or like I don't know, with what people kind of think is like usual. Maybe sometimes I'm trying to gross people out. I did a little too much of that at the previous show, my previous comedy show. I'm working on adjusting it a little, but I really find that like even though I kind of want it to be, my comedy isn't very storytelling based. But to answer your original question, I think timing honestly might win out over
Okay.
storytelling because there are some people who can, I really think, tell really uninteresting things and sometimes things that aren't even new in just this interesting way, like just these tiny little filigrees of little words they're adding in or the ways they're intonating their words um, that just make them hilarious. But you can still tell a great story and get no laughs. Maybe people will listen, they'll be interested by it,
Yep.
but if you don't really have like some sort of way of like kind of intellectually or stupidly putting it, I don't know if people are gonna laugh.